Welcome to part 3. It is unfortunate that I had to tell you this, but since part 1 and part 2, absolutely minimum has been done about the RV situation. The SG mods and admins are refusing to listen and accept what they know to be true. They're telling themselves to not believe their lying eyes. This only means that more pressure must be put on them to take action and bring RV to justice. RV is currently making their own reply video to try and ruin TV's reputation as much as they can to distract everyone from all the evidence piling up against them. But I've already predicted most of their replies and will be addressing them along with some new revelations in this video. This is part 3 of the RV files. They're going to say that we kept Shazane as a hacker in TSG. We never used Shazane actively to hack. We only ever called Shazane a hack against RV's hacking. RV had 10 hackers since October 11, 2024, and by the way, yes, I missed this in part 1 and part 2. This is I Love Food confirming that he used to call hackers on themselves to try and void results of raids that they get destroyed in, which I was reliably told by PTK that they would never do that. Food was flexing RV having 10 hackers, showing that they've had a long history with using hackers even before Food convincing Shad to hack on October 14th. He talks about having 10 hackers to the enemies is 2, accusing them of having 2 hackers with no proof, even admitting that the hackers are killing the people they supposedly fight for, but just assumes that they're hacking for that team and uses it as a justification for them self-admittedly having hackers. And then he just asserts that the hackers that are attacking the leaders are actually on their side. Oh, I don't care about being slick. Oh, I know what I see. It's funny how this is the exact logic that I'm using about the problems of RV right now, except it's actually true in my case and completely fabricated in his. Idiot retards like Khan keep trying to use the fact that I openly admitted multiple times that SV has hackers as if that's going to come back to bite me later. Now SV has joined RV and we are still winning the raids without hackers because half the RV roster got banned for hacks. Shab has promised to surrender all their hacks and leave TSG once RV gets punished for their actions. He never even wanted to play again, that's why he left. He only came back to expose RV. But of course, the admins are incompetent, and by turning a blind eye to RV's actions, have given the green light to allow everyone to keep closet hacking. We only ever had Shazane. There was no in-game moderation back then, so we couldn't even get rid of him. You couldn't get on the bad side of hackers back then, or else they would raid you endlessly. Shazane was also in RV multiple times, and did business with them multiple times before even he got sick and tired of them. No, us happening to have Shazane in our server is not TB using hacks. They have a screenshot of me saying something like I was helping a scripter make TSG hacks. The way they keep trying to make propaganda off this, you'd think I was in the basement making hack scripts right with them. For context, I helped create hacks by standing around being a victim to someone's hacks so that he would show me the extent of what his script could do. The idea that I was actively coding with them is ridiculous. And once again, they can only find 1 or 2 out of context screenshots on our side, as always, to make broad, ridiculous accusations. Meanwhile, we have to show full year-long context and do the most in-depth research on everything just to prove our point. I have suggested in the past that I would hack, or that I was okay with hackers before August 20th, 2024, which is when Simple Games announced that they would finally be doing in-game moderation. I only ever suggested exploiting because RV used hackers on us. I failed spectacularly at getting hackers and I never bothered to learn about how to use or buy exploits, so none of this matters. They have proof they've discussed, bought, tested, and utilized their hacks in multiple key situations to benefit themselves even after the announcement that hackers would be banned from just one source that has only been with them for the last year and a half. Even when I got banned, it was still a good thing that we would actually report hackers now instead of trying to handle it on our own. RV probably weren't as happy though, because it meant their hackers would have had a harder time exploiting. They also have a screenshot of me saying that if RV were going to keep bothering us, that they were going to get hackers to the face. Once again, before August 20th ban wave, and this was after they had refused to honor their promise by disbanding RV or even banishing Astray from the community. This is the same RV server that openly shares their hacks in the VC. This is exactly what I'm talking about. These people have no fear of consequences. I also found that I Love Food was trying to gather up information about the TD versus ATL second official war, which he was trying to use against us as a defense against our claim of him using RV in the SGS versus TBU war. Sometime in September 2024, TD had a war with ATL, and we were begged on ATL's side to join. Me and Tiago at the time were banned on alts, so Tiago went on an account called ATL_Miguel, and I went on an account called Aspect. Now, if you were paying attention, you'd remember that the Aspect account was present in the SGS versus TBU war, which was exactly how I also figured out, along with the other massive amounts of evidence, that SGS used RV members in the official war. Food was trying to say that us doing this in ATL versus TD is just as bad as them doing it in SGS versus TBE. Me and Tiago only used alts because we were banned. Food and RV weren't banned at the time, even during the SGS versus TB war, because they hit the fact that they hacked and duped. They got on alts purely to pretend to be a different clan. TB never hid that we were there. Moab and Ghost were participating on their mains in ATL with me and Tiago, and IDK, or Mong, another TB member at the time, was even there helping TD with our full permission, by the way. In fact, we were only there because there were 3 RV members at the time helping TD, Limitless, Sam, and Natabit, the hackers. We were all in the VC having fun at the time, and while we definitely think both sides did a lot of shenanigans and have our own opinions about the war, it was scuffed, the rules weren't stated properly, and it was never expressed any side couldn't bring different clans, unlike in the SGS war where it was stressed multiple times, and we've already made peace with TD Daniel, who has been a long-standing ally since, and talked it out and cleared everything up. They will also try to say that this one embarrassing time that we believed fake evidence of RV being scared of us in raids is proof that none of our very real evidence is credible. Long ago, RV literally had somebody feed us fake screenshots of RV admitting to embarrassing and funny things for Darksteel. It was humiliating that we fell for it back then, but it is precisely because of that incident that our standards for evidence have changed. We demanded Shab for screen-shared video-recorded evidence to back up his claims, and we got it. You realize that Shab could straight up go back to RV and claim everything was faked, and it still won't change a thing, right? These are DMs leading back multiple years across 2 different accounts that reveal information that TB would have otherwise never even have known. Multiple video recordings were made even after Food changed profile pictures multiple times. They themselves admit the evidence is real, but just allege that it's out of context when it's not, because the entire full scroll of the DMs is given, not just out of context screenshots, and once again, anybody can look for it themselves. This is not a serious point, they're just desperate. They are also currently trying to accuse me of being Islamophobic using some things I may or may not have sent over 2 years ago by their own admission, which they so desperately want to use to try and pretend that everything about my video accusing them of mass closet hacking and account sharing and framing people for hacks is somehow invalid. 2 years ago, a 2,000 member terrorist jihadist server raided the old TB server before it was deleted. Up to 30 to 40 people threatened to kill me and my family in the name of Islam because I was arguing about Israel versus Palestine, calling me a Jew, I'm Chinese, and insulting Jews and Christians. This most likely led me to say some very outrageous things in the server about their religion and races to rile them up even more. Now, do I regret these actions now looking back on it? Absolutely the fuck not. I think I'll say what I want to say to people who raid Discord servers and threaten to kill me and my family. Now, they can go ahead and over-exaggerate and hide the events leading up to whatever I may or may not have done with their blurred edited images and screenshots and out-of-context video evidence to try and pretend I actually said even more things that I never said, to add on things I never did to the things I actually did do and don't regret doing, because this is nothing but character assassination, as it was an event that never involved RV in the first place. They just want to use and pretend they care about this for their little propaganda video. Just like how I Love Food pretended to be a Muslim for years to use the same lies they're pushing now to get Muslims to join RV. I Love Food is also trying to put my actual life in danger with this accusation. Not that I give a fuck, because everybody and especially they know that radical Islamists will kill you if you depict their Prophet Muhammad. That's exactly why they want to place that accusation on me. They don't understand that whatever I have may or may not have said or done in the past isn't going to change anything, because none of this has any relation to TSG. I know for a fact on that front I'm almost crystal clean compared to most OG clanners. No, uploading a dupe method on YouTube is not bad at all. Simple Games never cared about duping until they suddenly did. They're just using it as an excuse to keep me banned because they know I'm right. The attempted character assassination of me as a person alone is not going to save themselves from the over 1.5 years of evidence gathered of their entire clan, along with countless other things that's not even comparable. They want to make this all about religious grievances when this couldn't be less relevant. I, as a proud Christian, was only sending disrespectful messages to radical Islamists threatening to kill me and my family, and I'm proud of it, and I don't back down from it at all. Bite me. And while arguing with them about this, they immediately screenshot what I said out of context so that they can use it for their little propaganda piece. Again, they will condone repeated months of sexual harassment, but pounce on you and label you a pedophile for slip-ups by taking you out of context. This is all to brand me as a raging Muslim hater, when both their servers' general chats, which they deleted, used to be filled with Prophet Muhammad smut porn, and the main culprit is still in their server right now. The truth and accountability never mattered to these people. They never actually cared. Once again, you can't hate them enough. I mean, you mean to tell me you were really sitting on this evidence, this supposed evidence, for 2 years, just wiping your ass, not doing anything about it, until you yourselves got exposed? Give me a break. RV has been the longest, biggest, still operating clan in TSG that has been around since the Bluesteel update. They have been the way that they are the moment Food took over leadership. They've lied, hacked, manipulated, harassed, sexually harassed, blackmailed, threatened violence on people, doxed, condoned, and defended pedophiles, exploited little children, tried to wipe all the evidence by deleting the general chats in both the new and old RV servers to prevent us from finding anything more about their past actions. I put so much work and research into making these videos, but it wasn't even hard gathering evidence. In fact, the evidence was so overwhelming, I was working overtime and still could barely finish this series. TVC, the vile cow, has been openly talking and joking about being a pedophile for years. Look at how many comments he's made about minors. These are just the ones we bothered to save. He's done it so many times. This guy sexually harassed a 13-year-old for months on end, asked her for nudes, and shared her pictures in the server and laughed at her. He also made a rap diss track about her that was all about her being a slut. This is him laughing with another RV member about what they did to her. These are some old messages I managed to have the foresight to take of people talking about what happened with TVC and her. This is him sending CP in their general chat in the past. He was never punished for this. They pretended to ban him, but they let him bypass on different identities, on alts, but they never actually kicked this person from the community. They will try to bring up this one screenshot of one of our members talking to her in a weird way when she is a minor and he is not. It should be emphasized that this 4-message exchange was literally all there was to the convo, and we know because it was sent in a public chat. This person was promptly immediately banned for half a year before being allowed to return, and he has also since provided large amounts of evidence that he and this person never said anything else weird to each other in any form of DMs. Here's another old RV member talking to this person in a weird way. It should be emphasized that we asked numerous times for RV to ban her from their communities so that she would not continue to be exploited in this way. This person is actually a schoolmate of my sister, but they gleefully ignored our demands and actively manipulated and harassed her even more for their enjoyment. Realizing lately that they wouldn't be able to defend their actions once this video comes out, they decided to preemptively ban TVC so that they can pretend he was never RV or that they never defended him and harbored him in their community. This is an old screenshot of Food admitting how problematic TVC is, and more screenshots of him actively harboring and hiding his alt account in the past. You can see the gears of the RV propaganda machine running in real time, very predictable. And then even more recently, TVC has been brought back under the excuse that he's shown his ID card, and it shows that he's in the grade 9 currently, meaning that he was 12 to 13 years old 2 years ago when he apparently did all that heinous shit. Look at that. I mean, it shows his ID card and everything, even though everything is blotted out. I mean, it's clear he was only 12 years old. He didn't know any better than to sexually harass a little girl and joke about being a pedophile and send child porn all over the place. This must justify everything he did, right? I mean, to that, I have to say, well, actually, all attacks that they're going to use against me is also nullified because I actually have something to admit to the world because I am actually 1 year old. That's right. I was just born a year ago. You see, that freeze you met for the past 3 to 4 years, that was before I even existed yet. That's right. A person that has never existed yet beat you in TSG. Think about that. Ponder on that for a little while, on how pathetic you are that you allowed yourself to be defeated by someone who hasn't even existed yet. If I could beat you when I didn't exist, imagine what I would do to you now. Okay, the point is, whether it's TVC's little brother's ID card, whether it was photoshopped, AI generated, faked in some way, shape, or form, whether he was really 12 at this whole time, you harbored him and defended him, condoned his actions, pretended to ban him, but actually allowed him back in on alts, then eventually banned him, thinking you had nothing else up your sleeves to defend him, and only just got rid of him so you could say you weren't doing all those things, just to finally say hallelujah, because apparently some proof comes out that he wasn't as old as he claimed to be when he made those disgusting jokes and sexually harassed other minors. Yeah, it's not going to work like that in this age of AI, buddy. To distract from the disgusting evil stuff TVC has done, they'll also try to tell you Mel was a pedophile because one time she mimicked pole dancing in TSG during the emote update in TSG in front of a player that's 14 years old. To that I answer, if you are ever of age and you find yourself repeating W and S behind a player that happens to not be of age, congratulations, you are truly a pedophile. They will also try to tell you that Mel was a pedophile because of that one time she DM'd Kiara, which was actually Rudolph pretending to be Kiara, and reciprocated her sexually motivated texts, and this fake Kiara identity was purported to be only 17 at the time while Mel was of age. It should be noted that these types of exchanges only ever happened back then because Mel and her then partner Jam were working with Food to expose the very fact that Rudolph was pretending to be Kiara, and she was DMing Kiara looking to see the results of what Rudolph behind the screen will have to say. This type of behavior was also repeated long after this incident when Mel and Rudolph became back on good terms again. It should also also be noted that they tried to say that I once also called her a pedophile for these exact reasons. It should then be noted that I only ever said these as a meek defense because of the fact that Rudeloffer used to be TBE and Mel and Jam used to be RV. We found Rudeloffer's actions at the time incredibly weird, but he had apologized and RV were demanding us to ban him, making fun of him at every corner. In group chats with them, I flipped the switch back on them, attempting to call Mel a pedophile. Let it be known that I never had the audacity to actually take these claims seriously and spread them in public outside the group chat. Was it still wrong? Yes. We weren't particularly that good with our decision making back then. We matured and we changed. They didn't. Why does RV now call Mel a pedophile and defend Rudel? Because Mel left RV and Rudel joined RV. While we're talking about Rudeloffer, he used alt to talk to himself about finding Azurite's address with a bunch of his cousins and find him to assault him. He also told people in the RV server to harass my IRL friend on Instagram and basically spread the lie that my friend was also a lolicon pedophile and said that he sent him a special gift. These are open calls to violence. These are open calls to harassment. These are threats. This type of stuff is illegal. Let it be known that nobody in RV made an attempt to stop this. In fact, they cheered and jeered it on because he was beefing with us for their entertainment, even rewarding him high rolls for this sort of behavior. I had to make a deal with him myself to settle the beef, and not long after, we caught him in a VC with I Love Food. It became clear that him and RV were working together to try and dox 2 people in the community, with their faces being sent in the media channel, and most likely openly sharing all sorts of information with I Love Food to use in his place. Rudeloffer has since admitted that he only called Mel a pedophile for rage bait and to ruin her image. This person in the past has worked together with RV multiple times to get us blacklisted from almost all the communities we've been involved in. The Strongest Battlegrounds communities, TSBCC, the Survival Odyssey community, the Runeslayer community, Grow a Garden, and more recently the Pixel Quest community. I have already preempted a number of their most common accusations they have used against us in the past in this video. It is but a sliver in their countless reign of slander when they tried to get us blacklisted from these communities. Despite this, we have always successfully defended ourselves from all attempts to defame and blacklist us like this in the past because their evidence and accusations have always been ridiculous and insufficient, and the communities have had their eyes open to the toxicity and disgusting obsessive actions of RV each and every single time. It has gotten increasingly tiring having to answer for all the false accusations. Some of the things that they claim we have done have dated as far back as 2023, 2 entire years ago. They can't find anything recent or relevant. They think as long as they can dig some shit about us that they can distract and sweep everything they've done under the rug. I've long quit TSG. TB has long quit TSG. RV has never left. Let me put it this way, only one clan is able to successfully branch out to different communities. Only one clan is able to maintain good relationships with those owners of those communities. Only one clan is still stuck rotting in one game despite trying everything to move on to other games after promising to expand multiple times for years and years on end because no other community wants to deal with them. Even Connoisseur's Ma and Millie advised everyone to stay away from RV the last time they tried to expose us to him, also confirming their disgusting actions and obsessive attempts to attack and defame us. You'll notice how RV seems to juggle around who's good and who's bad a lot. It's like Schrodinger's good or bad person. They're both good or bad until they're RV or not. This is the signature RV tactic. If you were an RV and they don't get what they want with you, when you eventually inevitably get fed up with RV, if you were always an enemy and a threat to them in the first place, they will attempt to dox and dig up information about you to humiliate you and harass you with it to use it against you. RV harassed and lied about Ghost for years, lying about him sending child porn, trying to report him to TSBCC to get us blacklisted, until they started offering to stop all the attacks if Ghost agreed to join RV. They used to accuse Waz of aimbot, and now that he's joined RV, they don't. They leaked Mel's face once she left RV. Food himself asked Shab multiple times for nudes of Mel, the person he currently accuses of being a pedophile. Once again, they will leak everything personal about you as soon as you leave them. They will brand you as traitors if you leave, and do everything they can to ruin you to discourage you from leaving. That's what they did to Shab. They tried to pretend that he was the sole misfit in RV. Oh, he manipulated I Love Food and RV into hacking by listening to I Love Food. Shab is only one person who has been in RV for over 1.5 years. Imagine how much shit he could have gotten had he been there from the very start. Imagine how much more dirt he would have had on RV if even just one more member had the courage to speak out against them. Look again, this is I Love Food saying, even if Cutie cheats, that he wouldn't do anything about it, which is ironic because now that Cutie Cat left RV, Food is openly saying that he does hack. This is Food exposing that Rudolpher still talks to RV in group chats behind the scenes, most likely to try and help them further dox their enemies after promising to leave forever. Look at this shit. October 31st, 2025, RV thrives off loyalty, SV thrives off hate. I think that's very ironic coming from the guy who said that their members should be driven by hatred. And this manipulation extends to clans as well, not just individuals. RV manipulates their allies into eventually merging with them. This is him talking to Shab, attempting to manipulate and secure a merge from RSG into RV. All allies of RV eventually experience their members getting stolen or outright merged into RV because that's their entire model and true purpose, because they never cared about you and only wanted your members. That's why they created Sovereign Alliance in the first place, to revive and eventually turn the server into RV. Only RV HRs controlled SA. Every ally that ever joined SA is now dead or part of RV. Wow, who could have seen that coming? Now, some smartasses want to make fun of the fact that apparently I'm trying too hard to be the good guy, saying we help small clans, but that's literally what I've always done. I've always given advice to clans, to alliances on how to improve free of charge, despite being retired. I supported smaller clans with resources without ever demanding them to join or merge with TB in return. In fact, all the way since 2023, me and MindGamer literally used to think of ways to help smaller clans grow in TSG, even trying to sneak official clans into simple games to bypass the faction blacklist rules to help smaller clans grow. You can see even Astri was a part of this because he used to think this way before we stopped being friends, before he got corrupted by I Love Food. So yeah, not everyone are performative, disgusting people that only do things for their own game. I know that's hard for RVs to understand, but yeah, I don't expect the guy who let his own clan rot and die for the glory of RV, and even stooping as low as to let I Love Food hack on your old account and pretend to be an old member of yours. I don't expect someone like that to understand. RV recently, most disgustingly, exploited two kids in their Discord servers, Skycool and Charlie Brown. Skycool, who by his own admission only recently turned 13, even though he was in RV servers and the TSG community for years, sent pictures of himself shirtless but in blankets, doing Nazi salutes and referencing Hitler. The pictures were sent before he turned 13. Charlie Brown, also 12 years old. RV told him to pretend to be 14 so they wouldn't have to ban him. Shared videos of him dancing shirtless and playing with his body. He also shared a video of him doing full tongue action with his pet dog for well over 10 seconds straight. I didn't even bother to capture that. RV not only egged the both of them to further humiliate themselves by sending more and revealing more of themselves, they put him in edits to further entice them to continue such activities. These are children in the most compromising of situations. Their images and faces will almost certainly be used against them if they ever turn against RV. No, manly, us sending a funny gif of them edited, fully clothed, and not in a compromising pose is nowhere near as bad as what you guys did. And again, RV also sends blatant pornographic copy pasta in their server. There used to be so much more about so many other people before they deleted the general chats in both servers, but they are still being copy-pasted till this day. While making this video, Charlie Brown video shared himself letting his dog hump his foot in a VC full of people, and Food was finally forced to ban him for it. That didn't stop him from blaming us for what he did, though.
Okay, Skycool or Charlie Brown? Because I also what Charlie Brown did.
No. Sky, the Chinese kid, the Singaporean.
Singaporean.
Yeah, the Singaporean kid, and yeah, the Charlie Brown. Like, no, that was like literally we all saw that. But Sky was just me and like this other dude in VC, and he showed his dick on camera.
He said he showed his hammer. It's a lie. Then showed his cock.
No, he showed his dick.
What is this epidemic of these little kids in TSG showing the cock? Like Alex showed his cock. Like what is happening?
Yeah, but like that was the most unexpected shit.
Starting a movement.
From it's Timmy. I thought he was a fucking good kid. He's doing all that.
Charlie Brown recently got unbanned by, guess who? TVC, who pretended that it was because of a blanket unban, but he's lying. The ban he cites was a week before this new unban. We found out eventually that he had unbanned Charlie Brown individually by himself that day, despite knowing what he did. Is it a coincidence that it was TVC the Predator doing it? Even Fireball was there and he called it disgusting and unacceptable.
I have the connections in this game to ban your whole ass clan. If you don't show me that message, show me the message.
Oh my days, bro.
RV currently still houses the American that TB overthrew till this day, who actively funds their servers and is known for illegal activities like having a Doxxing account and buying and scamming Discord servers. Cyber knows this very well. He's owed people Robux for months on end. He actively funds and supports RV's immoral activities to keep them alive and operating. But this has always been the types of people RV are. They will do anything for power. March 8th, 2025, lie until it becomes the truth. Fake it till you make it. Gain members and reputation of being a strong clan by hacking until you establish yourself and eventually no longer need to hack. But rest assured, when the going gets rough, they're more than willing to start using underhanded tactics all over again. This is why nobody should ever war RV or take them seriously. This is why TBE will not come back to TSG. We refuse to deal with bullshit like this. Every major scandal, every incident in TSG, all the problems in clanning, the drama over the past 2 years have all stemmed from RV. And at the heart of it all, willing to do and condone anything to get his way, I Love Food. food. You can't trust a word, a letter this guy says. If he says the sky is blue, he's lying. If he says the grass is green, he's lying. Let me be clear. I turned my attention back to TSG just to make this video series after seeing the insane amount of proof Shab had. I chose to do all this research, working on the video, everything, so that you can wipe all RV off the face of this entire game forever. RV will not stop at just a handful of TSG accounts banned. They will not stop even when all the current HRs get banned. They have already begun making preparations, new alts, projects, divisions to create new leaders in TSG. They make alts faster than we can find and report them. You can rest assured any new leadership is just going to be food and friends on Discord and Roblox alts. They will not stop what they've been doing because they don't see anything wrong with it. The only way to stop them once and for all is to chase their entire community out of TSG, to show all the other clans that you are able to punish wrongdoers and hold them accountable, not just as a reason to continue supporting the game, but to warn them that the same will happen to them if they start going down the same path. Yes, other clans have had similar problems too. NOK was founded by a person called Achilles, who frequently tries to steal top players from other clans to join his, and has gotten said top players to fight for him on his account in 1v1s to pass himself off as a good player, one main one being PTK Manly. He was ironically banned because a member he trusted was manipulated and blackmailed by Isle of Food into cheating on his account and who reported it to Simple Games. The ban was deserved. Don't get people to 1v1 on your account for you so you can pass it off as you PvPing. NOK has always started to appear and resurface only when one or both of the two big clans, RV or TBE, leave TSG or show signs of dying. This happened when NOK was first made a big clan when RV and TBE had left TSG, then died when RV and eventually TBE came back, was brought back around the time of the third and final TBE versus RV official war, and died when it turned out that RV refused to leave TSG despite their devastating loss. And finally, once again, now when RV are finally starting to get exposed for their actions. The funny part is people only join the server because they get promised high ranks and would never choose to fight for NOK over the clan that they actually main. He even accused Zal of being a TBE member after Zal was caught streaming child porn less than a week after trying to claim multiple times that he was a pure blood NOK member. He was there when Zal was streaming it, by the way. It's funny that we banned Zal before NOK ever did. I had to demand that Zal get banned in NOK for him to do it, but apparently Zal is the TBE member. The SV Alliance, since Shab took over, has always openly admitted to having some of their members use hacks as a way to try and counter the much more overwhelming amount of RV closet hackers. The main whistleblower of the entire story, Shab, has promised that the SV side would cease their hacking and that he would quit TSG again, as he only kept playing TSG to continue to fight and expose RV. None of these clans, these alliances, have done anything even close to what RV and Food has done. Even people in SV that they accuse of doing bad stuff have only ever done them while they were in RV. And again, SV has turned to RV, Shab has left, so they really have no excuse anymore. RV is currently the largest clan/alliance in TSG. They hold the most power and propaganda. If you let them get away with this, with just a few bans, SG mods, admins, cyber, undone builder, they will see this as nothing other than a sign that they can, at this point, get away with anything they want. This has probably been one of the biggest exposés on a Roblox clan in history. Years of closet hacking, false reporting, blackmailing, doxing, calls to violence, condoning sexual harassment and pedophilia. RV's actions cannot be allowed to continue. You want to know how many times they've temporarily rebranded, changed identities just to keep themselves alive? Sovereign Alliance, Forecrest, AV, DT, DL, IV. How many times has Food alone changed or assumed a different identity? RV was already supposed to disband after the final third versus TV official war, and it's time for them to go now. Ban all their high ranks, give the people a week or two to leave RV, and then ban the ones that remain. Banning just their accounts isn't enough. They've already proven their efficiency. The entire identity needs to disappear if you want to show them that their actions aren't tolerated. All the evidence is there. I've already done your homework for you. In one video series, I've exposed more corruption in TSG than every SG mod combined. You're only ever going to get this one chance to make right with the community after so many years of building up a bad reputation from previous colleagues. You think I'm going to do all this research again for a second time? I only ever made this because of my previous knowledge about who RV and their HRs really are, my extensive history with them, knowing exactly how they operate, how they think. I understand that we need support from the player base, support from the mods, the admins, the developers from Undone Builder to finally get rid of this filth, this cancer from the community, to fix the problem problem that has been plaguing you for so long. This is why you have in-game moderation. And all you have to do is make an announcement that the Revenant Empire will be permanently blacklisted from TSG and any of their future high ranks and members banned from the game for everything listed in this series, or else they will never learn their lesson and nothing will change. After 3 to 4 years of straight admin abusing, incompetence, corruption, promising to be better, this community and its top brass have continued to be utter disappointment in their game quality, in their moderation quality, in their communication, in absolutely everything. Since making this video, we finally got Dripmaster, Khan the horsefucker, and I Love Foods' alt account that Khan lent his account to banned. So I guess, there's finally some progress going on. So to all the viewers watching this video, this is your chance to help make things right. You can do this by joining the Simple Games Discord server and show your support to ban RV from TSG. Respectfully, do not break any terms of service. Do not be rude. Do not ping anyone unnecessarily. Do not do anything that will get you banned. You can comment in Simple Games' latest videos to ban RV from TSG. You can spread this video to your friends, clan members, even other Roblox content creators to help spread awareness. Create kingdoms and kingdom servers in TSG showing support of banning RV. Join another clan that isn't affiliated with RV. Create your own clan. It doesn't matter. You've all seen the evidence now. There's no excuse. To all clans, there is no need to ever interact with this fraud clan ever again. They are simply not worth your time. Let's all work together for a better future in the survival game. I'm not sure when the RV video releases. I might even have released after them due to my slow editing, but I have without a doubt preempted almost 90% of their talking points. So I'm not even going to bother making a reply. We'll let Azure or someone else do that. This has been Freeze exposing the biggest fraud clan in TSG history ever, the Revenant Empire. Until next time.